friends to Thirukkural English Couplet TV. We have come to chapter number 49, Predicting Time. I have been explaining Thirukkurals, interpreting Thirukkurals using my translation called Thirukkural English Couplet, which has been translated the same way as Thirukkural has written in 7 words, 4 plus 3 words. I have used this translation using an approach called a semantical approach, bringing in the thought and spirit of Thirukkural to translation in 4 words plus 3 words in 2 lines. Complying with the couplet definition in English, in Tamil grammars, Kural Venba grammar. I put everything in 16 heads. Now we are in the head or aspect called frame of life. This is the 8th aspect. This is the 8th aspect which goes up to chapter number 57. Now we are in the 49th chapter. Okay. First one, daytime raven overpowers. Daytime raven overpowers owl. Time helps kings. Time is very important, he wants to tell us. Time is very important. Time, it helps the government. That is why he is telling, predicting time. We have to predict time. Time is very important. Not only for the king. It is also for the heads of the family. For anybody heading. So here he says through the word Vendor. Vendor is the government. For the government, time is very important. So we have to think about this one. Daytime raven. Raven is nothing but the crow, the very dark crow. That is a raven. That overpowers owl. Owl is a bird which is a big bird, which is powerful in the nights, not in the lights or not in the daytime. Daytime, even this raven will overpower this owl. Even though it is very bigger and very powerful, it will be overpowered by the daytime raven. So, which time you are going to fight? Which time you are going to plunge? Which time you are going to go for the battle? All such you have to decide and go. If you don't decide the timing, you will fail. That is what is explained in 481. Kural number 482. Acting timely means God binding king's wealth. Acting timely means God binding king's wealth. It is what he wants to tell us. If you act in time or as per timing, that means it means something which would bind king's wealth with the God. It will not go away from you. You will keep your wealth with you. The government will keep the wealth with it. He is talking about the government. The government will be having the wealth with it without it going away from the government. How? Acting timely. If you act in time rightly, it shows that you are binding king's. It shows that you are binding your wealth with the rope, so it will not go away. It's tied with wealth, tied with rope. Wealth is tied with a rope. It will not go away from you. That is called, rope is nothing but timely acts. Next one, 483. Time being predicted, destines all be possible. Everything is possible if you are able to predict time. So predicting time is important. If you know about predicting time, everything is possible for you. 484. Place time makes impossibility possible despite difficulties. If there are difficulties also, despite those difficulties, Everything is possible, even the impossibility. Despite difficulties, time, place make the impossibility possible. Amidst all difficulties, and it seems that it's impossible, it will become possible if you consider about place and time. So place and time is important for making impossible possible, despite difficulties. 485. Universal achievers avoid time to win over. The achievers in the universe, they wait for time to win over. They are waiting for the time to win over. They don't jump as it is, very abruptly into any action. They will be waiting for time. Let the time come. Then we can jump into it. We can plunge into it. They will not jump into it as it is, without knowing anything about things. They won't jump into it. They will wait for timing. It is not procrastination. They know about things. They anticipate things. In the previous chapter, he was talking about anticipation of time, anticipating, knowing of strength, and before that, anticipate to act. In the 47th chapter, he was talking about anticipating time. Without knowing about the time, they won't jump into it. So now here talking about in the 49th chapter, he is talking about predicting time. It's kala maridal. So without knowing time, they won't jump into it and get into failure. Universal achievers wait for time to win over. Very important. Next one, 61. Self-confidence seemingly retreated resembles fighting ram withdrawing. 486. See, we have self-confidence. Seemingly retreated resembles. We have self-confidence, but sometimes after meeting with all failures, our self-confidence seems to be, self-confident persons are always self-confident. If their self-confidence seemingly to be withdrawn, retreated because of the failures. They were met with so many failures, so it seems to be retreated. This resembles fighting ram withdrawing. Fighting ram, you would have seen ram fight. Ram would go back, only to jump, only to come fast to fight. Ram is going back. It means that it's coming fast to fight. The same way, confidence seemingly retreated is nothing but it's ready to come and fight very fast. That means it's ready to come out fastly. Next Quran, 487. The wise avoid time to overcome foes. Foes are there, so many enemies are there. They are there, but you need not be worried about those enemies. You wait for the time. The wise wait for the time. If you are wise, if you are led by wisdom, you have to wait for time to overcome them. If you are jump and shouting that I will win over all these enemies, you will get into failure and the enemies will win over you. If you want to win over, you have to wait. You have to wait for your own time. The wise avoid time. The wise avoid time. That means the people who have wisdom wait for time to overcome enemies, to overcome foes, enemies. Next one, 482. Respect foes, understanding time to punish them. Respect foes, understanding time to punish them. The understanding time. See, time is not correct, good. He is not talking about the time, that is spoken of in the mystical astrology, something like that. No, he is not talking about that. He is talking about the time. Time means we have to assess, we have to anticipate timing. Whether it is right time, whether we have known about things, whether it is right, rightly we have understood things, whether we have got the knowledge, we have known about the things, whether it's rightly we have got the wisdom, all such. Those things we have to understand first. Then, till then, we have to respect foes. We have to respect enemies. Understanding time to punish them. We just wait for timing. And then, when the time comes, you just jump into your action and punish your enemies. Till then, you respect. That is what he says. Vallur is very practical. And not only practical, he is very lawful. Not only lawful, he is very wise in giving advice. It's practically he's talking about. Otherwise, he will be losing everything. Next one. 489. If time comes, catch it to achieve. When time comes, don't lose it. Don't lose timing. That time you don't procrastinate. That time don't put it off. See, time comes, you just use it. That time you should not procrastinate. That time you should not put off. But till time comes, you have to wait for timing. Until then, you should not plunge into any action. After the time comes, you just get into the action. 490, last one. Storm, waiting strike, coaches, king's victory. Kings can learn from the stork. Stork is a bird which will wait at the bank of a river. When a small fish comes, it will catch. The small fish comes, it will think that it's not a live bird, something like that. It will think that it's not alive. Other fish will come. The larger fish will come. That time, it will strike the fish and take it away. This gives a lesson to governments, or the governors, or the people who are in the government, or the kings, that you have to wait for the timing. When the time comes, you strike and catch. This is coaching the kings. This is giving a coaching to the kings. We have to learn from this bird. That is what he wants to tell us. Thank you.